Welcome back to ASNT 2023. It's been a great show, and there's still more to enjoy. Even after the conference is over, you can continue learning with us. Be sure to check out asnt.org for all kinds of learning opportunities that we have, including webinars and online courses, as well as in February, we'll be doing ASNT Rewind, which is when we re-show all of this, a mixture of sessions from our events for people who were not able to join us. So if you're watching at home and you want to get in on the fun, that's another way that you can enjoy the sessions and get the most out of the educational opportunities that were available at this conference session. I'm here with Bionica Rutherford. She is the Workforce Development Manager for ASNT. Bionica, here at this conference, the topic of workforce development has come up again and again and again. I know it's such a huge, important part of the industry right now is making sure that we have enough qualified people and are bringing new people into the industry. And I know that you've been really working hard to make that happen for ASNT, including having some programming here at ASNT 2023. So one of the things that we've done was industry interviews. So can you tell me a little bit about how those went?
Yes, thank you so much for asking. Yes, workforce development has been all the buzz. This week on Tuesday, we had 9 companies show up to interview candidates that are looking for careers, looking either to start or to advance their career in non-destructive testing. I had an overwhelming response of applicants that were interested in advancing their career. So yesterday, we probably did, I don't know how many, over 100 interviews,
Wow.
but there were about 30 candidates that were interviewed by several companies, and so it went really, really well. It was fantastic, yes.
That's so great to hear. And I know we also brought in some students to learn a little bit more about the career of NDT, before they're even getting started, to know that it's an option. So can you tell me a little bit about what the students experienced when they came here at ASNT 2023?
Oh yes, it was fantastic. It was great to let those students know that, let them in on the secret that they are the future of our workforce. So we had 51 students from Avalos High School, which is part of Aldine ISD, which is here locally in Houston.
Great.
They're a part of a dual enrollment program where they go to high school and they also attend Lone Star Community College, and it's an asynchronous program where they're getting their high school education, but also they're getting college credits, and they're studying non-destructive testing. So this morning they met, we had a meeting, and they were able to listen to a panel. The panel were the individuals that are the faces of NDT.
Great, yeah.
So we asked them all kinds of questions. It was a moderated conversation, but we talked about the workforce. They had great questions. They were very zealous about wanting to know what to expect in the career field, all of the different roadmaps to NDT. They now know that they can go into the military and do non-destructive testing. They can start off as a level 1 and how to move up the ranks to a level 3. And so there was some really interesting and fun conversation there. After we had the panel discussion and they did a Q&A session, we took them up to the exhibit hall, and boy, were they excited.
Oh, I'm sure. There's so much cool stuff to see up there.
Oh, my goodness. I think they were most excited about the robots.
Sure.
Of course, the swag was something that they really got into. They, they really enjoyed getting things. But seeing the technology and seeing where non-destructive testing is now, and even discussing but looking at the evolution of where it's going, and it feeds right into who they are, because they are our future technologists, and their technology and AI is all, it has their interest. So it was really good. But we had lunch with them and spent a couple of hours with them this morning. So it was really, really nice to see the workforce where it is now and where it's evolving and going.
Absolutely, and that ties perfectly right into our theme of the conference this year, evolution. They're the future of NDT.
Yes. It was very fun. Yep.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for talking to me about all of this. I know that it was a great program, and I know that you're doing a lot of great work with ASNT that is very needed in the NDT industry. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much.
So I'm joined by Eddie Pompa. He is one of our faces of NDT, as you've heard us talking about as part of our advocacy efforts, and he's been doing a lot here at ASNT 2023. So thank you so much for talking to me, Eddie.
Well, thank you very much, Haley. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So what made you want to serve as a face of NDT?
Actually, I was looking to become a member, a director, I guess, position. And this was also an opportunity.
Right.
So I said, well, let me just try one of each, right? Well, I got rejected for one, but accepted for the other. So that's kind of how it started for me.
Yeah. Well, and we really appreciate everything that you do for us. You've been part of so many great programs. What has been your favorite thing that you've done here at ASNT 2023?
I think right now it'd have to be the working with the students today, right? Doing the conversation, the panel discussion with the students from Avalos High School.
Yeah.
That's probably been my favorite thing so far, right? It's followed by the conversation I had with my career panel. I had 3 young ladies in this profession coming in as level 2s, level 3s. Having that discussion with them was also a plus, right? So that's kind of in a nutshell what I've really enjoyed so far at this conference.
Yeah, great. So what has been your favorite experience serving as a face of NDT?
Serving as a face of NDT, I think honestly it's probably the publications. Doing the articles for the blog posts. I wrote that article for the Quality magazine that went out recently.
Yes.
So I think those are probably what I enjoy the most, right? It's kind of odd. I maybe wouldn't expect it because, I did the STEM event, which was fun. But I do like to write, and I do like to express myself that way. So I kind of think I enjoy that a little bit more.
Yeah, you definitely have an artistic side. I would encourage everybody to check out his blog posts on our blog, ASNT Pulse, as well as he mentioned, Quality Magazine. And you also do cartoons for us that we run in the NDT Technician newsletter. And I always get a kick out of those. I'll admit, not being from the NDT world, sometimes they go a little over my head, but I still really enjoy them. And I'm sure everyone else does too.
I think that's kind of the kick out of it, right? I think people do, even if you don't quite get it sometimes, you can kind of sense the humor of it, and it's okay, right? And that's kind of why I do them, is to, sometimes it's on the point, sometimes on the nose, right? It's too obvious, and other times it's not. But I think it kind of gives us a broad spectrum. So I'm glad you enjoy them. Hope everybody else does, because I enjoy doing them.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Eddie.
Thank you very much, Haley.
I'm joined by Heather Coles, who is the Executive Director of the ASNT Foundation. We've talked a lot about that already in the news desks. So Heather, now that the conference is wrapping up, how can people continue to support the ASNT Foundation's work?
Well, back in September, we launched the ASNTfoundation.org website, and so there's information on there about how they can get involved. They can also reach out to us to tell us what projects they might have that they want to partner with us on. And of course, there's a place there to donate. We're also listing we've been celebrating over the last couple of days, all of our grant and scholarship winners. So they can also find out more information about those, apply for those grants and scholarships, and read about the winners.
Yeah, great. So what's been your favorite part of ASNT 2023?
Reconnecting with people. Yeah, and meeting some new people. I've met people via email, but now I'm getting a face with those names, and that's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me.
Great, thank you.
I'm joined by Jill Ross, the Director of Publications. Jill is in charge of, among many other things, the ASNT Daily, which is our on-site newspaper that we have here at the conferences. So welcome, Jill. What's it like putting this together?
Thank you, Haley. Well, it is quite a challenge. Actually, someone today asked me how we did this.
Yeah.
So I had the chance to explain to them how we did it. So we put out one of these every day. What we do for the first issue is we prepare it all ahead of time. We send it to the printer. We find a local printer here in our host city, which is Houston, who can do a short turnaround for us. So what we do is we put the paper together every day, and we send the files to the printer at 4 p.m. local time here. So that is our deadline every day. So I am on site, like running around trying to get some news and pictures, and then we have 2 people who are working off-site on the issue. Actually 3, because one is coordinating with the printer and the delivery, and another person is laying out the issue, and then another person is copy editing and proofreading the issue. And then I'm here on site, and I'll give it a final once over and say, send it to the printer. It's done.
Well, you all do an amazing job. I know it's one of the most popular features of our conference. People love it. I see people reading it all day, every day. So it's a really great product and part of the conference experience. So you all should be very proud of yourselves.
It's been a lot of fun doing it. It's something very different, and we just started doing it in 2019, as you well recall, because you were part of the team.
Yes, indeed.
Who worked
yes.
on it in 2019. So every year that we have done the daily, we have won some sort of industry award on it, except for 2020 when we didn't do one because of COVID.
Yes,
But
understandable.
yes, we have a long and storied legacy happening right now with the daily. So
Yeah,
I'm
it's
very
really
proud of it. I'm excited to bring it to the attendees.
Yeah. And so I know that you also were part of a new thing that we've done this year. So we had special tours available for conference attendees this year, which is the first time we did it. And I understand that you got to go somewhere pretty cool today.
I did. I had the chance to join the tour group who went to the NASA Neutral Buoyancy Laboratory.
Wow.
I think I said that correctly.
Yeah.
So what it basically is a ginormous pool of water. It is 40 meters deep, or maybe feet. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's pretty deep.
You can Google it and find out. Make sure.
Yeah, don't quote me on that. But
It's
I
easier
do
to fact check and
remember-
print.
I do remember it said it took a month to fill up this pool of
Wow.
water. And by the time they finished filling the pool with water, there was algae growing on the bottom of the pool.
Oh my
So then it
goodness.
took another month to filter the water. So it took 2 months to fill and filter this body of water and get it ready.
Wow.
But they have built an entire replica of one of a part of the space station down there. So they use the natural buoyancy of the water to practice being in like that weightless condition. So the astronauts suit up, they go down there, they practice all the maneuvers they have to do. And they also practice what happens if they crash land in water.
Sure.
So they'll be in the capsule, they'll put that capsule in the water upside
Wow.
down, and they have to figure out, how to open it up, swim out of it. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
And everyone had a great time. The tour group that I was with are actually going to be in the daily tomorrow
great.
because I was able to get a group picture and send that in, and I showed them all on the bus ride back. I'm like, hey, we're going to be in the daily tomorrow, and they were real excited about it.
That's awesome. So for those of you watching here at the conference, be sure to check that out because it'll be in the papers that you see available around you. So
Yes.
yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Jill.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us here at the news desk, and hopefully we'll see you in 2024 in Las Vegas.